All right, so your works cited page, this is a good start. You want to at least, at a minimum, have access to the reading. So I'm going to open that so when I get there, I can see all the things that I need. One of the things you want to do is you want your works cited to be on a new page. And so yours is actually indented here, so we can move this over. So we're going to go to Insert and click Break, Page Break. And so that means that your works cited will always be on the last page of your writing. So even if you write more, it'll automatically put on a new page. That's kind of nice, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we center your works cited, the title, and then over here we're going to do the works cited entry. We're going to make this look like a works cited entry. And I kind of memorized it already, but let's pretend I haven't memorized it. There's a couple of good resources available online that everybody can use. Some people use like Citation Machine or EasyBib. They do work. Sometimes they make mistakes, so you do have to correct a few things here or there, but they'll get you most of the way there. I'm not a huge fan of them because I feel like it's actually faster to just go to the Al Purdue and do it that way. And I also don't like to watch ads, so that's the reason I use the Al Purdue. So I go to the Purdue Online Writing Lab, and you can actually just bookmark this and save it. And I go to MLA, and I actually just find an example of one that I need that would work, and I just copy that. So MLA Formatting and Style Guide. I want the basics, or you can click on, it's actually an electronic source, so I can click on that. And it looks to me to be an article on a website. Is that correct?
Hmm.
So that's what we're going to look for. We're going to look for an example that's an article on the website. You can also find examples for how to do YouTube videos. I have a YouTube video where I do this too. So we're not citing an entire website. We're citing a page. Actually, the page in the article is identical. So we would end up with the same thing. An image, an article, an online started. This one's a little different. Here, an article on a web page magazine, that might work for us too. That should be about the same. And so you find the one that best fits. You go back to your document, and what I like to do is I actually like to paste it next to it so I can see an example. And then I just go and I copy the style there. So here we have Carol S. Dweck. So we actually do last name, first name. So we go Dweck, right? Carol and S, period. I believe that's how we do it. Actually, let's see. Maybe we can find an example where the person has a middle initial and just see, well, how do they do initials? We can always leave off the middle initial if we don't see an example. Yep. So they put the middle initial. You see how they do it last?
Hmm.
Okay. So, back to our example. So then they put the title in quotation marks of an article because it is an article. And so this one's Brainology. And so that goes in quotation marks and then a period here. And then here's a quick trick, actually. I memorized this. After this period, after the first title, then it's all commas until you get to the end. Um, so this article, think of a container. In fact, I have a container here. This container contains water, right? Well, you don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's water. And so a container is the thing that's containing the smaller thing. So it's the bigger source containing the smaller source. So Brainology is the smaller source. It's the title of the article. But the larger source is the National Association of Independent Schools. Do you see that up here?
Yeah.
So I could either write that out or I could put NAIS because that is the acronym for it. So I'm going to put National Association. I'm going to try to be fancy here. What was it? Of Independent Schools. Okay, so independent. Oh, I probably spelled that wrong. And then it should be a comma after that. And let's look at the example. Yes, it is a comma after that. And notice they put it in italics. I didn't misspell it. Yep, I knew it. It's okay. That's my weakness is spelling. Okay, so then they put the date that it's published, it looks like. And so I'm going to, it says winter 2008. I'll just put 2008. That's good enough. But let's say it said September 2008 or September 10th, 2008. Let's just pretend. Then it would be like this. It would be 10 September. It's kind of weird how they do it, period. Always use a short version of the date. Now I'm making that date up. You would just put 2008. And then period at the end. You don't have to put the date accessed. It's optional. All right. So that's how you do a works cited page. There's one last thing we need to do. Do you know what it is, Velvet?
Um, no.
Okay, that's all right. We need to add what's called a hanging indent. So let's say we have multiple sources that we're using for the essay. Over here up at the top, it's hard to see. There's this little ruler looking sort of, it's actually called the ruler. So if you go to view, it says show ruler. So you can hide it or you can show it. So there's this little ruler. You move that over a half an inch. And for your regular document, you want the first line to be out. But for the works cited, it's the opposite. You want every other line to be out except for the first line. So you want the first line.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. You want the first line to stick to be like that, and you want the other ones indented. And so it's the opposite of what your paper looks like. So if you go up to the top of your paper, see how it says in conclusion here with an indent, it's the opposite here. You want that to be out like that. And the easiest way is to use the ruler. And so you just highlight
Okay.
the part of your works cited entries, and you do it that way. Okay, so we also added this source for you cited the NBC catalog, which is great, where we did everything the same except because there was no author, we skipped it. Now, one that I messed up on is we need to find information on the Rebecca Cox reading, which was under readings. And a lot of this will happen in a lot of your classes where they won't give you all of the bibliographic information, but you're not completely helpless. You can actually help yourself. You can search for this. So I can actually look that up. So I can type in college fear factor. Oh, here we go. It's popping up right here. And I can find out the information for that. And I can find it through Amazon. And I can find out the publication info by going to the product details. So it's Harvard University Press. It was published in 2011. So now I've got everything I need for the works cited. And then I can go back and find just a regular book, because that's all it is a book. So it's chapter 2 of a book. So I'm going to copy and paste an example from the Al Purdue just to see. And then we just replace it as we go. So her name is Rebecca. Was it C? D? And
Yeah,
then
D.
it's a chapter, but I'm just going to type the book title, which is The Total Fear Factor. No, it's
The
it.
student fear factor.
And there's a subtitle there too. So I'm just going to get the whole thing. And I like to just sometimes copy and paste, so I'll paste without formatting. Remember, after that one is a period, and then it's commas the rest of the way. And so for book titles, you put that in italics instead of quotation marks. And then, let's see, after the title of the book in quotation marks, it's the city of the publication. I actually don't think you need that anymore. Publisher is Harvard University Press. And then the publication date, which is 2011, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I believe the city of publication is not required. And so there we go. I got another works cited. And so that's C. So that comes before M. So I should copy and paste that after Dweck. So now it's in alphabetic order. Each new entry, the first line sticks out, and then we've got the hanging indent. And notice it's all perfectly double spaced throughout. And so that's exactly how you would do it.